Hey out there YouTubers, another magic tutorial. As always, if you've never watched it before, right down there is the link to my tutorials disclaimer. Watch that at least once before watching any of my tutorials to let you know what the deal is with these. Now for this one, I've got an empty card case here. As you can see, that really is empty. And I've got the 4 aces here. Black, red, just like that. So what we're going to do is we'll take the first ace here, the ace of spades, and it goes in the card case. Move that red ace out of the way. The ace of clubs, it also goes in the card case, the ace of spades. So we'll seal those black aces up in the case there. And I take the red aces here and just kind of wave them over the card case like that. When I do that, the red aces disappear and the black aces take their place, because of course the red aces have jumped into the card case. Now, there's a lot of ways you can do this particular trick. I'm using the card case because it looks good on a video when I don't have a volunteer here. What I would recommend when you do this in performance is have your volunteer put their hand out, and you put the first ace in their hand and then put the second ace in their hand, just like that, and then have them cover up like that, sandwich them, and then wave them over and then show that they've changed. Now the way you make them change, and if you watched some of my other tutorials you may have figured this out already, is you have the 4 aces, and these, there's nothing special, this is just 4 aces and this is a normal card case. Is you have them like this in alternating order, and as I showed in the performance, you should mention it, you know, just point it out briefly, but don't make a big deal about it. Just, you know, black, red, so that people remember that. So when you do this part, you're going to do what's called the glide. You hold the cards like this, you know, where your fingers can curl in and touch the faces. So if you're holding them like that, you're not going to be able to do it. And as you bring your hand down, you're pushing this bottom card backwards. Don't bring your hand down and then push. 2 separate motions. You can see your fingers move, you'll get caught. Do it at the same time. And then when you pull this out, you're actually pulling out the second card. And you said, now we move that red card out of the way when you pull out what was the actual original bottom card. So what's happening is, they show them the ace of hearts, then you pull out the ace of clubs, then you move the ace of hearts to the top as though it were the ace of clubs. So as some points, take the black ace, put it down, move that red ace out of the way. Now what I've done is I put the red ace on the table and move the black ace to the top instead. Then you show them the other black ace, say we'll put that down with the first black ace, and now I'll set these red cards out of the way while I seal them up in the card case. Now when you move the cards over, alright, you got the black, I'm going to do this very quickly here. Alright, at this point, set that down. Now the cards are out of line. Don't try to square them up with your hand like this or something. You'll get caught. People want to know why you're fiddling with the cards. When you're holding them like this, just reach over with the other hand, and as it comes over, you just let those square up as you grab them. You're just kind of pushing that in as you grab the cards. Now, and you're setting those aside as you close up the card case. Or if the spectator has them in his hands, what you'll do is grab them with this hand and then point with this and say, put your other hand on top of those for me. That gives you an excuse to trade hands with them, and then you can point so that they'll sandwich them, and then you just take these and kind of whatever you want to do and then reveal that they've traded places. Now something to be careful with this is don't go too fast. People think that the quicker they can do something, the better it is. That's not necessarily true. A lot of times that's the opposite true. Here, let me show you what this looks like if you go too fast, why it's no good. We've got the red aces here. Alright, we'll put the first one there, that black one out of the way. We've got the other red ace, goes down with the first red ace, and now the red aces jump back to my hand. Now when you do it like that, it seems pretty obvious to people that you really never had the red aces on the table, you just kept them in your hand the whole time. What you want is for them to think that somehow, when they were in the card case or wherever, you really did switch them somehow. That's what the effect you're trying to give. So you want to have a little delay between when you put the aces wherever you're putting them and when you reveal that they've been switched. Some sort of little fancy move you do in between, even though nothing's actually happening at that point. That's called a too perfect mistake. You made your trick a little too perfect, and because of that, it loses its power and its impact. So that's the color changing aces. There's a lot of different handlings you can do with that, a lot of different ways it can be presented, but this one is the easiest, especially with the other tutorials I've already taught.